I think it's funny when you add a little bit of money to a sport and you give some girls attention, what they can do with it. I think everyone should take a page out of our book and really put some more time and effort into women's everything.
Welcome to Breaking the Glass Hockey Podcast. We are talking women's hockey from the PWHL to the NCAA. We will be talking with players, builders, coaches and fans who have made this great game what it is today. Educate, empower, elevate. Let's go!
Welcome back to Breaking the Glass Hockey Podcast. Another special interview edition. I would tell you the episode number, but since we're recording now and releasing in the future, I'm not 100% sure what episode. I think it might be 8. It could be 7. But it's your host, Brownie. I'm joined by my co-host, Linda. Kelly maybe will be showing up. We're unsure, but we are joined today by the saboteur, Robi, Mattie Robitzer, formerly of Northeastern and soon to be of Delaware. A blue hen. Robi, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
It's exciting for us because we've had a lot of talk for the people who've listened to our episodes. We've had a lot of talk about the portal. And then once I saw you were going into the portal, I'm like, oh, now we can have her on to talk about the portal. So, yeah, it just timed out very nicely. But before we get to that, I want to go back because we always start at the beginning. Kennett Square, is that right? Is that how you say it? Kennett Square, yeah. Pennsylvania? Buddy, you kind of a pretty big deal. 4-time captain of your high school team. Is it AAHA? Is that how you say it? Or do you say AHA?
Yeah.
All right.
You like to say AHA about anything with those letters.
I know. It's just easier. AAHA Female Player of the Year in 2021-22. 4-year junior flyer, USA Hockey Nationals, 2-time silver, 1-time bronze. Big
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Big stuff from the saboteur. Almost derailed Phillips's career. Yeah, I mean, a
lot. No.
So how'd you get your start in hockey?
Well, it's actually kind of a nice little full circle moment. So I'm a twin, and my family's really good friends, like with this other family that has twins that are about 4 years older than us. And we always grew up, they were like sisters to us. Like we were super close family friends. And they started playing hockey. And then me and my sister, being 4 years younger, looked up to them. We were like, oh my gosh, we need to play because Morgan and Taylor do it. So we need to do it.
I was going to say, would that be a family we know? Did they go play anywhere in college or anything? No?
No. Yeah. So Morgan was a goalie. And when I saw her play, I was like, I need to play goalie. And she ended up going to University of Delaware to play club hockey. So it's kind of a nice little full circle moment that
she's a pioneer. She's a pioneer of your future program, really.
Yeah.
Isn't your new coach Kumi's a twin, right?
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Did you play other sports growing up? Were you just hockey?
I mean, when I was young, I dabbled in everything. Like I just love playing sports. When I got to like middle school and high school, when I was starting to get more serious, I started playing just lacrosse and hockey.
Yeah.
And played varsity lacrosse all 4 years of high school.
Were you a goalie there also?
Yeah, I was.
That's even more crazy.
Yeah, I missed it though. It was awesome. Yeah.
This one, I was going to ask why goalie, or you said you took after the one twin, but did you ever skate out at any point?
Yeah, I mean, I skated out like when you're little and there aren't goalies, and then like up until the time where everyone kind of tries goalie out. I was really bad at paying attention to the drills, so I think that kind of helped with deciding that I should go in the net. But like also once I started it, it was just so fun. You couldn't take me out of the net if you tried.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I'm always curious how people started in goal because as a lacrosse player, it does not appeal at all. Are you a Philly sports fan across the board?
Yeah.
Yeah. Huge. Nice Super Bowl. You're very happy with that one.
Go Birds.
Yeah. Go Birds. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. It only took less than 5 minutes for a Go Birds. Pretty good. And then heading out to college, you went to Northeastern. Was were you talking to other schools? Was Northeastern on your radar, or how did that come about?
I actually had a really weird recruiting process because it was COVID. Um,
Oh, right, right.
I didn't get I like, my family isn't a hockey family by any means, so we kind of, like, went into the recruiting process blind, didn't reach out I didn't know I was supposed to, but, like, didn't reach out to schools before, like, the June 15th deadline, like, kind of did nothing to prepare for it besides just playing hockey and hoping people saw me. So, for the first, I'd say, month after the deadline, like, opened up, I had, like, no contact from anyone. I got, like, a couple, like, emails from some schools, but, like, nothing really stuck. And then Northeastern was, like, super interested, and I was like, "Well, like, thank you." Basically, like, I was like, "How can one say no to that?" Especially as a goalie with it being Goalie U and everything.
Right.
Um, I would say I mainly talked to, like, Northeastern and 2 other schools, but once I toured them all, I knew Northeastern was where I had wanted to go.
I imagine that was a bit of a, I mean, it's not like coming from overseas, but you were a pretty small town suburb to Boston. That,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big, I mean, it always fascinates me because college is a huge change in a person's life anyways. You're like an adult, you're on your own, all that kind of stuff. But then to have a complete upheaval in terms of your baseline, your comfort zone, what was that like for you?
Yeah, it was definitely tough, and I would say that's honestly, like, a one of the major causes in me, like, wanting to enter the portal was, like, I I tried to tough it out, I tried to love the city, but honestly, I think it's just not for me, like, I missed home so much this year, I had such problems with being homesick,
Yeah.
and, like, I miss having my car and being able to, like, drive and just kind of the freedom of not being in the city. I guess, I don't know, you're free in the city, but it doesn't hit the
It's a
same.
different type of freedom. No, I get you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you mentioned, and I think this is important, just talking through the process. You said, why not Northeastern? It's Goalie U, like great athletic environment for you, obviously. But I mean, I feel like just knowing Northeastern's campus, I'm, prejudiced to it in the way that I, know what it's like. And I do think you can walk around Northeastern and you don't feel like you're in the middle of the city, right? So you've got the buildings but then the day to day is, Mass Ave and
Yeah.
Huntington Ave. And so that can wear
Yeah.
on you if you're not used to navigating that kind of thing, or it doesn't stick with you. But what were some other things about the school that you immediately drew you to it? Obviously besides it being, a strong program and really known for its strong goalies.
Yeah, I mean, like, the co-op was a big appeal. Everyone loves co-op. It's, like, such a cool opportunity to have it as a student. Um, like, besides, like, just, like, their, program, but, like, the bean pot, like,
Uh,
how can you be a kid in youth hockey and see the bean pot and not wanna go play in that, especially now that it's at the Garden? But, like, I thought it would be really fun to be an athlete in the Boston area just because Boston has such a rich sports history and, like, competing in Hockey East, it's such a fun league. Um, yeah, that's basically
Yeah,
what
no, those are great
I
reasons.
was
And I just,
considering.
a lot of our goal on the show when we talk to anyone or even talk about is just like we're speaking to all ages when we're talking about, the process. So, I think we'll get into it a little bit about the portal in a bit here, but it's there always something you can spin positive out of, what you didn't think it was, right? So
Yeah.
No, and the other thing too, I know the portal gets kind of a knock that people are like, "Oh, they hop in and hop out," but I mean, you put in 2 years, and I mean, that's it's a long time to know what you want, and I think that as you get older, those decisions, in some ways, it gets easier because but it also, on the other hand, it gets harder because you've been with these players for 2 years. It's your family,
Yeah.
So that's a very hard part.
well, and I
Um,
think the other piece is that, I mean, I know we're just going down this road now, but like we want to profile a great situation for the portal. Like the
yeah,
portal isn't all I'm not accountable. The grass is greener for me somewhere else. And et cetera, et cetera. Like this situation it's unique and it's like the right size of, let me go on the portal, let me get an opportunity to go back home. Like you said, you were homesick,
Yeah.
so I just couldn't be more sort of like lined up in a positive way for yourself as a student athlete, for Delaware. And I know that probably the Northeastern staff, they speak so highly of you and they want to see you happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like one of the biggest things I had to come to terms with too, with entering the portal is like, I feel like as a college athlete, there's kind of this negative connotation, like, oh, like so-and-so's entering the portal, like wonder what that's all about. But like, honestly, it's like at the end of the day, like, I'm just trying to find what's best for me.
Right.
Like, I think my time here is done. No bad blood to anyone. Like, I love this program. I love my teammates, my coaches, but I think my time here was just done, and it was time for me to explore other options and like go back home and like find the best case scenario, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of your teammates, you came in with, I mean, pretty good class, right? You and Blackmore, Jones, Compton, Lalonde, Mabardi. I always say that wrong. And Cipolla. I mean, that's a big class with a lot of different personalities and skill sets. And I always can tell, like by this last year, how you can see how you guys bond from an outsider's point of view, and how much you guys lean on each other. And I wanted to just know if you wanted to talk about that and about give them some shine on your way to your classmates.
Yeah, I mean, no, my classmates are awesome. They're like such a fun group of girls, and I feel like we all get along really well. Like, no, no bad things to say about any of them. I'm gonna miss them really bad. But like, I live with Compton and Mattie Cipolla, and we have fun. Like, I've lived with them for the past 2 years. When I came up for summer school, I lived with Peyton. Like, it's been a good little community within our class.
That's great. That's great. And then you came into a pretty good goalie room, right? Gwyneth Phillips was still there. The Great Wall of Gwyneth, I used to call her. Paige Taborski, and now Lisa Janssen. And I mean, and I assume you know Frankel. You've probably been around her on the ice as well. And I mean, just what a tradition. You touched on it earlier. I don't know if we were talking. Oh, yeah, when you said you came to Goalie U, because I know we were talking about before we were. But I mean, just to learn from them. I mean, what a head start for you as a young goalie in the NCAA.
Yeah, and coming in as a freshman with Gwen, like with the reins, it was really cool, and it was kind of eye-opening because she is like the greatest goalie in the country. Like in the NCAA at the time, she was absolutely crushing it. And so to come in and see like this insane goalie, but then she's like super fun and like loosey goosey, like okay, like it can be fun and you can still be great. Like I was really nervous coming into college because I was like, it's so much more like professional than youth hockey. Like I'm like a pretty chill, like loosey goosey person. Like I don't know how to say it properly, but like I like to have fun and like mess around and stuff. And so to come in and see that like you can do that and still be good, I was like, okay.
I think I asked her when I had Gwen on, I asked her about her pads or something. The brand, maybe I asked her brand, and she's like, I have no idea. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, I don't know. I just put it on and go play. And I was just like, oh my God. Then I was like, I got to stop asking questions like that of goalies because you know what I mean? It's like you do it once and it's, So I want to talk because when I was talking to Coach Flint at the national tournament, and we talked about you. And all right, so you came into that PC game. It was a bad spot. And he even said it was a bad spot when and I think I wrote it up. The whole team was looking past Providence College, a little beanpot look past.
Yeah.
And PC stole 6 points off you that weekend, which should not have happened, in my opinion. But I want to toss those numbers out of it. Right, because I'm going to not count that. So when you came in against UVM, you came in relief. So you played 4.5 periods. You were perfect in relief and had 1 goal against and a .947 save percentage. So like Dave said to me at National, he's like, she showed she can play at this level. And you were also Defensive Player of the Week. I mean, I thought that was so great. I was so mad that I didn't get to do a write up the Friday night game, and I was like, I don't care what I have to do. We were fighting with ESPN here, and I said to my wife, I go, I may have to drive to Burlington this afternoon, and she's like, you are not driving to Burlington, because I knew you were going to start, and I wanted to give you the what you earned, and it was, I mean, what was that like coming into that? Where you were like, all right, I got this, or was there the butterflies? Where were you at?
When I came in relief, I had major butterflies because like Providence, I was like shockingly really calm about, and I think that's kind of the problem. I think I was too calm. I think I needed a little bit of the nerves, but Vermont, Paige wasn't dressing. She had a concussion, I think. So it was just me on the bench, and Lisa let in 2 goals, and Flint came over to me and goes, "Stay loose." And I turned to our athletic trainer behind me and go, "How am I supposed to stay loose?" And then Lisa let in 1 more goal, and he gave me the nod, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." So that was frightening. I was like, my heart rate data was like up in the clouds, yes, for the whole like end of that period. And then like we went to intermission. I had a second to like breathe, regroup, and I was like, okay, this isn't bad. And then we scored 2 goals and almost came back, and I was like, this is really good.
Well, and I think teams pick it up, right? Not because they're afraid that you're not capable, but I don't think anybody that's not a goalie could ever imagine that moment. Like, hey, get in there. There's nothing comparable for maybe a 7th, maybe like just getting thrown out for a shift every now and then, again having like a first liner come down. But it's still the magnitude of every decision that you make being like it is for goalies. I mean, I think teams have their goalie come in, and sometimes we talked about this on the last episode. Sometimes it's just to shake it up. Sometimes it's for performance, and sometimes it's like, hey, we need a different look, and it gives the team a pep in their step.
Yeah, I think it definitely gave the team a little pep in their step, because like anytime I touched the puck, they were like erupting on the bench. Like I could hear them from in the net, and I was like, okay, thank you guys. Like, really appreciate it.
I will say it's one of the most supportive benches in Hockey East. I can't speak to them in the other leagues, but in Hockey East, you guys do a great job, or they do a great job, I should say. Sorry. And you're also, this is nothing to sneeze at. You're also leaving undefeated at the TD Garden. I mean, not bad, not bad. You always have that. Yeah. I'm sure the Irving overtime goal is your big standout, but do you, I remember talking to Jovetic, and she was saying how in warmups, her stick was broken and she didn't realize, and all her passes were going all over the place. And that's one of the big memories she has about, the being part of the Garden. Do you have anything, not like a broken stick, but besides like the big obvious moments, is there anything that you remember that you're like, oh yeah, that was so cool? Or
well, we have that little fan Crystal that always sits behind our bench at home, and I was able to find her in the crowd, and I'm pretty sure I tossed her a puck. I hope I did, because I always try to shout her out because I see what she does. But honestly, it's probably just like seeing all the little girls. Like it's just gaggles and gaggles of like these little youth teams along the glass.
And boys.
Yes.
There was just youth teams. It didn't matter. It was so cool.
Yeah. Like just seeing that like we can be this goal for them to reach. That was like, it gives me like chills.
That's awesome. Hold on. Kelly just got here.
Hello, guys.
It's time for Goalie World.
Oh, now we got 2 goals.
Yay! This is the best show so far.
Take
well,
it.
Kelly, you'll be happy. We just finished talking about the bean pot. We haven't even got to the portal yet. So,
oh, wonderful.
Perfect timing. Now, Robi, you want to tell her about the seat thing that you're not sitting on her, but.
Oh, no, I was just saying that I'm pretty sure your name is the one sponsoring my seat in the locker room. It's either mine or Lisa's.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
For your stall in the locker room.
Just for the record, I'm in there too, but it's not at your locker. We like to one-up each other on this show. I have a hard time one-upping Kelly in pretty much everything, so I just wanted to state that for the record.
Well, the goalie stall is bigger, Linda, so there's that, right?
Fair enough. Touche, Kelly.
Win with her. You cannot win. So, all right. So I did want to tell you some stuff that your coaches shared. Um, excuse me. I always ask the coaches. I'll say, can you give me 3 words about a player, or
Oh
can
God.
you tell me a story about a player? And so they did. So Carp.
Again, I need some sound effects, Brownie here.
I don't. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. So Carp told me that you were the 3 words he said were selfless, leader, and a glue guy.
Ooh, guy.
That's
Forwards.
good though. I mean, that's like we talked about this before with the spare forward or the 7th D or the backup. It's hard because you have to be ready and you gotta be professional and you can't let I'm not playing. I should be playing. You can't be that person, So it's hard. Dave, I told you how he said you showed you can play at this level with the game at UVM and said you were a great kid. And then Berm, so she told me loyal, supportive, and authentic. And then she told me a story. Every year we do a 3-on-3 holiday tourney right before exams and Christmas week. We split them up into 6 teams and give them a day's notice where they come up with a costume theme based on what jersey color we give them. I've never included the goalies, but last year, Robi's freshman year, she comes out with a full costume, including Christmas lights strung through her jersey. She ended up winning the costume portion of the competition, and I have. Did
you get the picture? Oh, there you go.
There's the back of your, and then this is
the front.
There's the front right there. So for those on YouTube, you'll be able to see those. So yeah. How's that for technology, Linda? That I was able to do that.
I was looking it up. I was like, how do I share my screen?
Yeah. So yeah.
Nice
so
stuff.
this is a good story from Berm. Yeah, she sent me that this morning. She actually, when she was like, I actually reached out to her. She was like, "Oh my God, awesome!" Was her first thing. Like she was so excited to tell the story.
Oh my gosh.
So I just wanted to, I really only told you that just to show the pictures is what it boiled down to. So let's talk portal now that Kelly's here. Tell us about the process, like how your timeline, how it worked out for you. And I'm sure not everybody's going to have the same, but this is your story.
Yeah, I mean, like as I said, like my roommate Mattie Robitzer entered the portal, and like our processes were super different. But basically, the portal opened on a Sunday this year. I don't remember the exact day, but my meeting with Coach Flint was the Monday after that. So the Friday before all of that, I texted him and I was like, "Hey, do you have time to call?" Because I wanted to warn him that I was going to enter the portal and all that before my end of the year meeting with all the coaches. Like I didn't want to just drop a big bomb on him, like unexpected. So I wanted to give him a little warning. So I was like, "Hey, I want to enter the portal. I just want to let you know now." And he was super nice about it. He was like, "We're super sad to see you go, but like I get it. Let me help you however I can." And he like pointed me in the right direction, like with compliance and everything. And then I like filled out the forms. They put me in the portal the day it opened. And then from there, I got a couple emails like right off the bat, and one of them was Delaware. And ever since I heard Delaware was getting a program, I like always kept it in the back of my mind because I was like, it's close to home, could be a really cool opportunity, like be part of the first team. So Delaware reached out to me that first day, and it was a Sunday, and I called with them. I think it was that same day. And I had already planned a trip home like during that upcoming week from Tuesday to the next Monday. So I called her and she was like, "Hey, like we're really interested. Basically, like we'd love the chance to talk about this with you." And then it went really well. And on the call I was like, "Well, I'm coming home next week if you have time for a visit. Like if you want to show me the spot," because I was like, why wait if I know this is kind of what I want. And the whole time, like I had like a couple other schools reach out to me and I was like responding to them, but I kind of knew Delaware was what I wanted. And then
did you know the school? Like, I mean, you didn't look at it maybe because of hockey, but you're close to it. So did you know something about the campus and the school before this process?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always known of UD. It's like 45 minutes from my house. So Like I've been there. I've played at Fred Rust Arena, which is their rink.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. So like it's somewhat familiar to me. My high school graduation was there. But yeah, I went home, visited, loved it. Their facilities are crazy good. And then they basically were like, "Hey, let's call to catch up later in the week." So we called, they offered me, and I like accepted it right on the spot because I was like, "Yeah, this is what's best for me."
It's almost like it's meant to be. I mean, it's like the storybook written here.
Yeah.
Well, before we started recording, Robi told me that half her high school goes to either Delaware or Penn State. So she was,
But when you have
Yeah.
schools that level and that level of excellence and athletics and everything all in one, so close. I mean, it's a tough
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah. It was kind of a no-brainer. And like it's close enough to home where I could like go home for dinner one night, but it's also far enough away where like I'm not gonna go get groceries and run into my mom or dad. Like it's a
well,
good
at the
it's a good
checkout, it would be all right.
yeah. I'll take it then.
What were you hoping to happen if Delaware didn't work out? I mean, just obviously you don't have to say everybody who reached out to you, you can or you, whatever, it's completely up to you. But like if Delaware wasn't the choice, when you were entering the portal, you knew they existed, but what if they weren't? Like, were you thinking hoping for like a Penn State or?
I just wanted something that had like a strong athletics community, like, or I don't even know, like somewhere where I could have my car. Like, I wanted to I really want to live in a house, like on campus. Like, I want to kind of get like the more true college experience while still playing like high level hockey. I talked to like a couple other Hockey East teams, and I think that I would have considered that if Delaware wasn't an option. I would have looked at other AHA teams too. I have a lot of friends scattered throughout the AHA, so I wanted to go to somewhere with good culture too, because I think the people make the team, and like that's one thing that I loved about being here is like it's such a good group. Like I just wanted to go somewhere where I'd be appreciated and I could like love all of them.
What's your major at Northeastern?
I'm a
Are
business
you
major?
business? Are you staying in business?
Yeah, I am.
Cool. Awesome.
Are you two-part question? Well, actually, I just thought of another question, and this is, tell me if you can't talk about it. If you went into the portal and it didn't work out, can you rescind your portal and stay with Northeastern?
I think it's up to the coaches on if they want to take you back, because
Okay.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but like my roommates, like when they said, they were like, well, if we don't have to make cuts next year, like you can have your spot back, but like go see what's best for you. But actually Flint told me like after I got off the phone with him being like, hey, I want to enter the portal, he like texted me and was like, just so you know, we're going to go ahead and like start working on the process of bringing another goalie in. So it like depends coach to coach, but like I wouldn't have had the option to come back, but
that's like what we were
Sure.
talking about though, Kel. We were talking about the transparency. And even though you weren't on Kelly earlier when we were talking just about the positivity of this situation and why we wanted to have Mattie on, you know, because the circumstances created a positive for the athlete, for the schools, the right situation. But I think the portal is a place where the intention of it was to create more transparency versus everybody kind of sneaking around, talking to their friends on different teams who are making, you know, comments to coaches. And sometimes that's hard to ignore depending on the player and the person. But I think what you're saying is like, it's great to hear, you know, on all levels that you're just transparent. Like once you're gone, you're gone. Like a coach might have to just put that out there to you as well. There's still a human conversation that you're having, like, right? You said, I'm not going to walk into the coach's office during my meeting, and after I've entered the portal, I'm going to let them know first, right? And
I think
maybe not everybody does that, but what's that, Kel?
I think Mattie showed her character, you know, probably a goalie thing actually, but you know, what you did going above and beyond to communicate in advance was just awesome. You know, it's just paying respect to people I mean, you came
Yeah.
to Northeastern because the coaches and the university. I mean, so obviously you like it, but a different fit is out there. But I was with Brownie at the Nationals in Marlboro when we heard about it. And that's the thing, like bells and whistles went off in my head. I'm like, this is a great story for the transfer portal. Because all these other things, like I can't imagine people just moving and shifting so regularly. And then when I heard your story, I'm like, this is why there is a good side of this.
Yeah, you're definitely the example, I think, not only for the way it worked out and the story and the reasons, but the way you handled it as well personally, I think speaks to why Northeastern and Delaware both wanted you, right? I mean, that's, the person behind it too. How hard was it telling your teammates?
It was really, really hard. And I would say my closest friend on the team is Lisa. Like we're like sisters basically at this point. So like even before the portal had opened, like we have such a close bond. I had to tell her and be like, hey, just so you know, like this is what I'm thinking I'm gonna do. Like I want to let you know. I'm letting you know as soon as I know what I'm doing because like I don't want to blindside you. I don't want to do anything that could hurt you because I care so much about you. And like I also needed someone to talk about it with, like on my team. So like her and Lily Shannon were kind of like the two people I was venting to before I made the choice to enter the portal. But yeah, telling them after I like actually did it, they were all really, really sweet and really supportive. And like I got so many texts being like, Robi, we're gonna miss you. Like we're so sad, but so happy to see that like you're doing what's best for you. So it was really bittersweet. Like it was heartbreaking, but like it was also nice knowing like I have all these friends that are gonna be with me regardless of where I go.
No. Is there any relevance to number 72 for you? And are you gonna wear it in Delaware, or are you gonna go with something different? Have you given that any thought? I always ask about the numbers. Linda makes fun of me.
I agree, Brownie. I'm with you on that.
I'm gonna be number 1 at Delaware. They're doing like traditional numbers for the first year.
Kelly's like that, yeah.
Yeah,
it's coming back. The whole number 1 thing, it was away for a while, but
I was number 1 in high school, so I was like, might as well go back to it. I was 72 because of Bobrovsky. Just love him. He's awesome. Yeah.
No, that's
and I think
fair.
it looks good on the back of a jersey too.
Actually, I just saw. Was it Phillips's teammate there, Mashmeyer? I just saw like an Instagram post where she's putting her full name.
Yeah.
Like Mashmeyer Lamance or something, and she had one choice that went all the way down the arms.
Yeah,
cool. I kind of like that. Yeah.
You're supposed to vote on it.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. All right, yeah, sorry. That's me not getting distracted. So with the portal, you said how you didn't really have the traditional recruiting when you were coming out of high school. And it seems like you kind of avoided it in the portal a little bit too. But I wonder, the portal, if it was like, if Delaware hadn't jumped in, you would have been out selling yourself, basically. That's the plan, right? Going in?
Yeah. It's basically like recruiting 2.0. I actually got way more interest entering the portal than I did before I had committed to Northeastern, like before I went through it the first time. And I think it's just because like I'm already they already know I can play at the D1 level. Like it narrows the pool for them, so it makes it a lot easier for them.
Well, and your stock went up, right? When you went to Northeastern. I mean, they're traditionally successful in goaltending, and
what was it, Linda?
Her stock went up.
You just you can't blame her for doing that when you fall for it every time.
What year did that tradition start, you think? Roughly.
Let me think hard. 1989.
Oh.
That was right after her, just so you know. I got a leg to stand on arguing about this, so. Sorry, Mattie, you got to experience all this with our banter, but
I love it. It's awesome.
I forget what you were asking her. Actually, you were asking her something, Linda.
The interest level going in through the second time.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. No, well, and I think your numbers too, the UVM numbers, that certainly didn't hurt you. Defensive, and you got a start and a half, and you were defensive player of the week. That's I'm sure everyone's aware of that who's paying attention to that.
Yeah, I was, and getting that Vermont weekend, I was already like, that's when I was really thinking about going into the portal. So it might sound bad, but like I was really happy that I got that under my belt because I was like, that if I do end up taking the portal route, like that is going to help me a lot versus just having the Providence games in.
Yeah, the
I
confidence
think
level.
you always conducted yourself as a great teammate and great energy and super supportive. I think that really helps too. I mean, as Coach Linda would know, when you're building a team, to see somebody with great energy, it seemed like everybody loved you. You're always doing something fun.
Yeah.
I think that means a lot.
Yeah. I came in knowing I wasn't going to play under Gwen. Like that was her net. I was not going to try to touch it. Like I knew that I at least last year was not going to play. So I just made it my goal to like, if I'm not going to play, I may as well still make the most of it. Like I'm going to go have fun. I'm going to be the glue guy. Like if like that's what Carp said, like and it's more fun. Like there's no fun in not playing and moping on the bench. Like it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do your teammates any good. Like I was like, if I'm not going to play, I'm at least going to enjoy it. I'm going to be an animal on the bench or like
mind over matter, right, Kelly?
Yeah. Well, I think, being a backup goalie is actually one of the hardest things to do. You're ready in body, you put all this gear on, you warmed up, and then the mental diversity of being ready and waiting, being ready and patient at the same time. It is really, really, really difficult. And I don't know if just goalies, well, Linda's got a goalie brain too. But, to really understand how hard it is. You appreciate goalies, Linda. You do.
I believe she meant that complimentary, Linda.
Yeah, Linda.
No, I do.
Had said it,
I
it would
do.
not
I
have been,
mean,
but she did.
I had the pleasure of having some pretty good goalies when I was at Northeastern playing on the team with me. Kelly was a coach when I was a player. So I was lucky enough to have that. And then recruiting wise and coaching, I mean, we really started the re-legacy of the coaching with Florence Schelling. So that's really where it's really never turned back since then, since that time. So yeah, I love goalies.
You're saying you're a goalie person.
All right, so now officially a Blue Hen, a new program. You're not one of the vets, buddy. They're gonna be the. Would you tell me before we start recording? It's like 17 freshmen or something.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be coming to you.
Yeah, I was looking at like the roster that we have right now, and as of right now, I'm the oldest player on the team.
Oh wow!
Like by a good little bit too. I don't know if they're gonna take they're still looking to take a couple transfers, so I don't know if people will come in that are older, but like I'm older than the senior goalie that's there, so I'm like, wow.
Is there
like
an end date to the portal? Is there a time where it ends, or how does that work?
There's a period, like a window that you're allowed to enter the portal in, but like I think it closes April 29th. It closes at sometime at the end of this month.
Okay.
But once you're in the portal, like you can take up until when the school like needs you to apply.
Oh.
So like you can still like you just have to put your name in by the 29th, and then like after that, if you still don't have a spot, like you can still talk to coaches and stuff.
But no one else can enter past the 29th, is what you're saying.
Like you just have to decide that this is what you're going to do.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's so many different directions that the portal we've talked about before this, but I don't know. I think it would be fun to be a coach and just like imagine if something dinged in your office, ding, portal, ding, portal.
Yeah.
And you went over and you're like, ooh, who is it? And like they often say, like it's typically not I don't know, Layla Edwards or someone like that. Like they're not like, oh, Layla Edwards is in the portal. So
McKenna Webster went to the portal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it one way or another. I'm just saying that I just think it would be fun as a coach to experience like a refreshed, besides the recruiting of the true incoming players, a way to refresh your team and revive your team every year. With veteran, with leadership. Like you're instantly like, I mean, no pressure, Mattie, but your mom now, You're a mentor, you're the leader, you're
Yeah.
21. I mean, there's a lot of things. So
Well, yeah, but the flip side of it too, Roby, in your case, no offense to Delaware, but you're not going to have a TD Garden crowd your first year,
Yeah.
right? So it's going to be like if some of your players are gripping the stick a little tight, you can be like, listen, just relax, it's just another game, and that I think you have that experience and knowledge is going to be beneficial. It can't not be. But Linda, the thing you were saying about the portal and the ding ding, the other side of it is if you're a coach and you're having 7 or 8 Robies calling you, be like, hey, sorry, I'm entering the portal. I mean, that's a whole different deal.
well, and you have those circumstances, right, where they're like, well, 11 of their team has already entered the portal, and you're thinking, okay, what's going on there? Immediately your mind goes there, right? So anyway.
So do you know any of your new teammates? Are you guys on a group chat yet? You starting to get to know everybody, or?
The day I committed, all the little freshmen had a Snapchat group chat, and they put me in it, and I was like, no way. It's me and like 17, like 18 and 17-year-olds, maybe some 19-year-olds, and I'm like sitting here 21 in my dorm room, and I'm like, oh my god, hey guys, I'm so excited. Like I was cracking up. It was just so like funny to me. I was like, wow, I'm the only old one here. But they just the other day committed another transfer, and me and her have been like chatting on and off, and she seems really cool. I'm really excited to meet her and like have someone else that's my age. We were talking and we were like, they're so little, like I feel like maternal towards them already, and I don't even know them. But, like,
That's what I said. That's what I mean.
Yeah, like I just want to like take them under my wing and be like, it's okay.
Just another skill set you're building for life with this one, right?
Yeah,
100%. But that wouldn't have changed staying or leaving. Like I always talk to players, and we always say, like, you come in as a freshman and you're like wide-eyed, like, oh my god, what is this? And then as a sophomore, you start to kind of figure things out, your place in the pecking order, and all that stuff. And as a junior, all of a sudden that's the biggest transition, in my opinion, from sophomore to junior year, because you went from going, oh, she's figuring out, to, hey, she has to figure it out now. And everyone's looking at her for advice and leaning on you and asking you, like, hey, how do I do this drill? There's all that kind of stuff. So this would have been a big year for you either way in terms of your responsibility and leadership,
That's something I even tried to do this year. Like this past summer coming into this year, when I like got Lisa's number in the summer, I like immediately texted her. I was like, hi, I'm Robi. Like, because I, like, to be honest, or I think Paige did for me. Like, she kind of reached out and was like, hey, like, I'm Paige. If you have any questions, like, I'm here. So I was like, wow, like, that really kind of helped me out. Like, I want to do that for this girl. So I, like, made sure to reach out, like, right away. And I was like, hey, like, I'm Robi. If you have any questions about literally anything, like, whether it's, like, what's good to eat when you're in Boston, or, like, how to fill out this form or whatever, like, text me. And I think that really kind of set our relationship up for success. Because she came in and like immediately like had someone familiar to come to, and like that was really rewarding for me. I was like, wow, like that's exactly what I wanted to happen. Like I wanted to be this like comfort person or whatever, whatever you want to call it, for these,
especially a big transition
kids.
For her, more so than most.
Yeah.
So that was very kind of you for her to have that security of a friend already,
Yeah, and now she's my best friend. Like we just went to the dining hall last night. Like, yeah, she's awesome, and I'm really glad I did that, because if I didn't, who knows how this year could have been.
Yeah, now you get to set the culture for the Blue Hens.
Yeah,
you're gonna be one of the really founders.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense for the Blue Hens coach too. If you put yourself in their shoes, they're trying to build, is go with maturity with your goaltender.
Yeah.
Can settle them down, make them feel confident right off.
We're gonna talk to her next. We just had to do it separate, but we got Kumi lined up to come on. So,
oh, good.
Yeah, that'll be fun. All right. Well, I want to give you a chance. We talked before recording. When the Huskies come on, I always ask them some lightning round questions, but I always do some quick hits about the team first. So if you want to get even with anybody on the way out the door, buddy, this is your chance. All right, here we go. Who's the best dressed on the team?
Best dressed?
Yeah.
I feel like you got to say Lily Brazis.
Okay.
She's always going above and beyond.
Who's running their mouth the most? Who's the chirper?
Oh gosh, probably Brazis again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I chirp a lot in practice. Maybe it's me, but
You can take the girl out of Saugus. You can't take the Saugus out of the girl. Who makes you better by going against them at drills and practice?
oh,
Well, I
That
used to
makes
say
sense.
who's the hardest, but then all the players would be like, no one. Tried to change my wording.
Yeah.
yeah, probably Scurv.
Okay. Best skater.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like Allie and Ella are like pretty crafty skaters. Maybe them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Best hands.
Trying to think about who like always lights me up in the shootout with like a good deke. I don't know. Shan kind of gets me sometimes. Maybe Scurv.
Okay. Do you have any pregame rituals, superstitions, or anyone you want to out who has really like OCD ones?
I mean, mine are kind of like silly. They're not crazy. I always have to have like this juice. We have something called Spark where it's like caffeine basically. So I call it my juice, my pregame juice. I have that. I juggle as any goalie does.
Oh, you're one of the jugglers too, yeah.
Yeah, big juggler. And then I have handshakes with different girls as we come into the hallway.
Nice. One person on the team that you need no matter time, place, location. Who are you gonna call?
Probably Shan. I feel like she
Okay.
could get me out of anything.
And then you got Coach Carp with 10 pucks on the blue line. How many is he getting past you?
Is he shooting from the blue line?
Yeah.
0.
Perfect. Love setting up Carp to fail.
Good question.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Now I got these are your lightning rounds, and we'll buzz through these. Your favorite cartoon character?
Ooh. I guess SpongeBob.
Nice. Favorite and least favorite rinks you've played in? I was gonna say take Matthews and Rust out of it since you've played in both of them.
Least favorite, Providence for sure. Favorite TD, like.
Oh yeah,
no-brainer.
that's
Oh,
right.
good call.
Obviously.
What's is Providence? Is it the lighting?
Everything. It sucks. It's like being in a black and white movie. Like it's just weird.
Yeah.
Like it's actually so. When you first step into that building, it's like we were warning the freshmen this year. We were like, whatever you think it's going to be like, it's worse. It's like a dungeon.
So
I'll rip them, I don't
this year
care.
is the first year I went down. I've never been down there, and I've always watched it, and I'm always like, why? It's like they don't have like they're missing rows of lights. They forgot to turn them on. Is what it looks like. And then I was
Yeah,
there,
it's
and I'm like,
dark.
oh no, this is how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's dark and like gray. Like it's just it doesn't
Black
feel
and white.
real. I don't know
Black
how
and
I
white.
to
always hated
describe
that the
it.
fans were up above you. So if you're in net, you feel like the fans are like on your shoulders. It's the strangest
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah,
Does that
there was
bother
a
goalies? Does that with the feet at the dasher? Does that bother goalie? The seats up high like that?
if you go to like play the puck, they can like kick the glass like at your face basically. Like
Yeah.
it's really off-putting.
Yeah, I never thought about that from a goalie's perspective. Do you have a celebrity crush?
No.
All right. What's a skill you don't possess that you'd love to master?
Probably like speaking another language. I feel
Okay.
like that'd be cool.
What's your go-to pizza topping?
Pepperoni. I'm really basic.
That's fine. Do you go black tape or white, and do you go heel to toe or toe to heel?
I do white tape and I do toe to heel, and I get chirped so bad for it, and I don't know why.
For going toe to heel?
Yeah,
Huh.
the people don't like it, I guess.
Oh,
I didn't even know that was a goalie thing, that it mattered. I mean, I know that's a thing, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like if I had to go heel to toe, I wouldn't care. It's just like whenever I tell like Scurv I'm doing toe to heel, she's like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, girl, half the time I don't even tape my stick. Like I just have it bare for practice. I'm like, girl, I don't feel a difference.
I
It's just
get
easier to do it
ripped.
this way.
absolutely destroyed at beer league because I go heel to toe and then I go toe to heel. I do like a double.
Oh,
And people are like,
yeah.
"What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "I like to
Yeah.
pass. It's a little cushiony butter soft pad."
Soft blade instead of soft hands. Is that the case, Brownie?
Hey, I'll take any help I can get. What do you have a guilty pleasure TV show or your most recent binge?
My guilty pleasure is South Park.
Uh,
It's
goodness.
it's so bad, but it's so good.
If you could skate out, what position would you play?
Oh, center for sure.
Hmm?
I take all the face-offs.
Start, bench, or cut? Pancakes, waffles, French toast.
Oh, start pancakes, bench waffles, cut French toast.
French toast gets no love in this. Is there a current NHL or PWHL player that reminds you of your game?
This might be a bad omen to say it, but I would say Flurry. I try to be
Yeah,
like Flurry as much as I can.
that's not bad. Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
I feel like a horse-sized duck.
Okay. Just a couple more. Favorite pastime not hockey related?
Drawing,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah, it's good.
Reading, maybe.
Pick a superpower.
I feel like super hearing. Be able to listen to what everyone's saying.
Okay.
Or maybe mind reading.
So the Robi Music Festival, okay? 3 artists, living or dead. Who would you have?
Taylor Swift, Noah Kahan, and Gracie Abrams.
There you go.
I feel proud that I recognize 2 of those names. And then the last one, the most famous person in your phone that you could reach out to.
Probably any of my P-Dub friends, like Meg Carter or Gwen. Or
Isn't that
Kamal.
cool though that you can say that? My P-Dub
It's
friends.
awesome, yeah. I remember sitting there watching the draft, and I was like, "Oh my god, I know her!"
Hey, I was doing the same thing. Who are you rooting for in the PWHL since you have alumni on every team?
I'm rooting for all of them. I don't have a preference. I want them all to do good.
All right. And rumor Philly's in the mix for a PWHL team in expansion. I was reading an article yesterday.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah. Because the Flyers, I mean, they're actually that's something else I wanted to ask you that I forgot about. The Flyers are really involved with the Blue Hens.
Yeah, they have some sort of partnership. And I think a big part of it is like community outreach. Like they're kind of partnered for that, like for us to go to Flyers community events. But then they also have some sort of internship program, it sounds like, where they can I don't even think just girls from the team, but I think just students at UD in general. They have like internship spots available with the Flyers. So that's a really cool opportunity. And I think like Kumi might have said this, I might be wrong though, but it sounded like some of their head office people might be coming to our first game and like just throughout the season, like will kind of support us in some ways.
Yeah, I saw a picture of Kumi dropping the puck at was it Flyers Blackhawks?
Yeah, they've
game,
done a lot. I was just looking
Yeah.
online at that too. Yeah.
One of the questions I have for Kumi is how awful does Gritty smell? Because I imagine that thing smells horrible.
Oh my gosh, I love Gritty. He's my favorite mascot.
Of course, he's everybody's favorite mascot, but
Yeah,
I
he's
imagine he
insane.
sleeps in the parking lot of the vet.
I have a picture of me for Halloween. One year during youth hockey, I dressed up as Gritty. I just had the picture pulled up the other day, but I need to find it again. But I had like this big, like fluffy suit, and I like taped my pads to look like his legs and everything.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, I hope I can find it quick.
That was the
It
best
was-
marketing move that the Flyers ever did.
And if you could put Philly into a costume, it's him. Like he reps the city so perfectly.
Are you Pats or Genos?
What?
Isn't it the 2 Pats and Genos? The 2.
Oh, the cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get crucified for saying this, but I actually don't like cheesesteaks.
Oh.
So
It's all right.
I'm a fake Philly fan.
I don't. It's
I
probably
think
not
they're
on the,
overrated as well.
it's probably not in the D1 dining hall, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's
That's
great.
me dressed as Gritty during youth hockey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love
So the
him. He was on my
costume.
old helmet.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had like a little picture on the side.
Have you
Oh, that's-
designed your new mask yet?
I've designed some ideas and pads.
Yeah.
I'm a big gear person, so like when I'm
Me
sitting
too.
here, yeah, when I'm
It's-
sitting here with like no classes or homework or anything, I just sit and draw on my iPad. But I
Oh, so
even
that's
like,
what you're saying when your other hobby is drawing. Yeah,
yeah.
it's so
So
much
I was
fun.
actually
So-
just working on a helmet idea.
Oh, that's great. When you get it sorted
like
out, send it
all.
to us, and we'll put it out on socials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
called about them, or I talked to Kumi and Samo earlier today, and they were saying we might start to get the ball rolling on equipment, which I'm really excited about.
Kelly's the equipment expert for sure.
Yeah, I was with Brian's for like 15 years, and before that, I was with TPS making goalie equipment. So I love
I
it.
had a Brian's glove like my whole youth career, and then I got here, and Eric said I had to be all in one brand,
Oh,
and I could have cried over it,
yeah,
losing my Brian's glove. But I'm hoping at Delaware they'll let me bring it back.
yeah, yeah. Because Phillips was in Brian's, so I know you guys had a lot coming and going.
Yeah.
Philip probably
When
didn't
is your
realize.
first game?
They sent something out. I think it's tentatively like October 3rd or maybe October 5th, sometime that weekend.
It's gonna be super exciting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to be awesome. I was wondering if there was any schedule released yet. It doesn't look like it. So
I think they're still like confirming it, but I think it might come out somewhat soon.
That'll be a good road trip.
That's what I was just gonna say,
I
right?
know I might have to make that happen just for my girl Kumi too.
Yeah, Philly's an easy ride. It's easier than most. Yeah.
Her
that's easy
family,
road
the
trip.
Kumi family, is from Baldwinsville, which is just outside Syracuse. So where my in-laws are. So we're not too far
cool.
from there. We go to her sister's Halloween Christmas party every year. So
Oh.
yeah.
Now you can go as Gritty.
Kumi actually lives like 7 minutes from my house now. She lives like, right up the road.
Cool. Awesome. I thought that looked familiar, that the town. So
Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
that's great. Well, Robi, thank you so much for doing this. We wish you nothing but the best. As much as we'll miss you at Northeastern, just super stoked for you at Delaware. I think it's going to be great. And I mean, based on my knowledge of you prior to this and talking to you today, I mean, they made the right call grabbing you for sure. And I think it's going to be great. I'm super happy for you. I mean, I would have liked to see you in the 72, but the one's pretty cool, I guess. But pretty
It's
good.
almost like it was meant to be, you know.
Yeah, thanks for sharing the story with us, because for us, we were right on it as, wow, this is a really good story. Let's get on this and talk with her. So appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Great positive story. And, it's something, you got to take care of yourself. So that's great. So, but thank you for everyone for tuning in, watching, subscribing, liking, sharing. And like we say, please tell 100 of your closest friends and get them all to like, subscribe, and share. So we will be releasing this at some point, and we'll see you on the next episode. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mattie.
Thank you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.